Give us a couple more seconds. It's almost there. Nathan, we're live.
All right. I'm just going to wait till the picture shows up on the screen. There we go. All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the January 11th, 2021. Finally, the 2020 is past us, and we're hoping for nothing but endless success and positivity in the new year. This is our first community zoning information meeting with the City of South Fulton of the year. My name is Nathan Lombardo. I'm the Planning and Zoning Administrator for the city. On the call with me are Marissa Jackson and Dana Gray, both planners with the city. As usual, for those of you watching on YouTube and anywhere in the internet tonight, if you have any questions or comments throughout the course of this presentation, you can enter those in the YouTube chat box and we will read them, or you can email them in to the planning email address, which is planning, PLANNING, at cityofsouthfultonga.gov. And I apologize for the extreme length of that email address, but it is what it is. So we will get rocking and rolling this evening. We can go right on to the next slide. And I will do my best to talk as fast as I can because I am aware that there is a football game tonight and I'm sure people have crock pots full of Velveeta dip they want to just dive right into and would rather be doing that than hearing me talk. So our first case is an annexation coming into the city of South Fulton. 21-01, a annexation request for 0 Waycrest Drive and 0 Riverside Drive. And I'm sure I will get my tongue tied saying Waycrest more than one time tonight. So we can go right to the next slide. This is going to be a 100% annexation method, which means that all the property owners, or one, agreed to be annexed into the city. All city services will be provided to this property as soon as it is brought into the city. We can go to the next slide. Approximately 12 acres. Once the property is in the city, it will have mixed use zoning. It's a multifamily development. So if you drive down the street right now, you will see a set of apartment buildings that are currently constructed. Those are in unincorporated Fulton County. And in order to construct the new phase, they want to come into the city, or the second phase is in the city of South Fulton. And so in order to continue that, they want to bring in the first phase, which is already completed. Proposed density is 210 units, and the majority of those will be senior units. We can go to the next slide and see where it is. If someone is on the call waiting for their turn to talk, they'd please mute their phone. I would greatly appreciate that. You can see the parcels here.
Not looking to buy or sell Dollar Trees. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm on a Zoom call. Call me in a couple.
I'm guessing that's Mr. Perlman. If we could make sure that our phones are muted or computers are muted so that you do not interrupt this presentation, I would greatly appreciate that. So you can see the southern portion of this property is in the city of South Fulton. The northern half is in unincorporated county, and that's what's petitioning to come into the city. You can go to the next slide. On the left, you will see a Google Maps aerial of it. The dirt patch in the middle is the pre-construction aerial of the currently in place apartment units in unincorporated Fulton County, and the lighter green patch right below it is the area in South Fulton that is going to be the second phase of the development. And over on the right-hand side in the blue outline, you can see the part that is in unincorporated Fulton County and the green part in the mixed use that is in the city of South Fulton. And I believe that is the last part of this. We can go to the next slide, please. Have any comments or questions come in on the YouTube chat or the planning email at this point concerning the first case?
No.
Okay. I will go right into the next one. It's Z2101, our first zoning of the year. This is the rezoning request for this annexation property. We can go right into the next slide, please. As I said, this is a rezoning for the associated annexation, which we just discussed. This property is going to be brought into the city as City of South Fulton mixed use. It is currently Fulton County mixed use, and so we'll be assigning it our mixed use zoning when it is brought into the city. We can go to the next slide, please. Same maps as before. You can see the half in unincorporated Fulton County and the other half in South Fulton. And I believe the next slide is the aerial and zoning maps again. Yes, same maps as before. So you can see the property over on the right-hand side. And I'll pause real quickly. Have any other comments or questions come in at the end of these two on this case?
Yes.
All right.
Atlanta real estate lady, what is the advantage of annexing this property into the city of South Fulton? What is the plan for the entire project?
So half of the project that is already built is apartments, and the second half will be apartments with a majority senior component. In a general sense, properties are annexed into incorporated areas for improved service delivery, and that's what is happening in this case as well. Any other comments or questions?
No.
All right, we can go ahead and move on to the next case. Z20005, a rezoning for Zero Buffington Road. We can go right to the next slide. I will say at the outset right now, today, the petitioner for this case asked to be postponed to the February Planning Commission meeting. And I will say all of the cases tonight will be at the January 19th Planning Commission meeting. So that is next Tuesday will be the Planning Commission meeting. But this case will be at the February Planning Commission meeting, which if I look at my calendar really quickly, I can tell you that the February Planning Commission is February 16th. So this case will be heard in February 16th. I will talk about it right now, though, because it was stricken from the agenda today when the presentation was already made. So this is a rezoning from AG1OI to M2, and the intent here is to develop an office and storage yard for construction equipment. Go to the next slide, please. The property here is located to the upper left on the opposite side of the road from the warehouse in the middle, right near the blue dot. It is bordered by the road and the highway, you can see. It is an undeveloped parcel as of this time. Go to the next slide. And there's the parcel outlined in blue. You can see it has split zoning on there right now. Mixed use to the right, more office and C2 to the left of it. Property around it is not in South Fulton. We can go to the next slide, please. Here's a general site plan. On the left, you see an office and parking area, and to the right is just a cleared yard for storage of this gentleman's equipment for his construction business. We can go to the next slide. I'll pause here. I'm sure at whatever planning commission meeting this is brought up, there will be plenty of comments. And I know that the community was aware that this meeting was scheduled to have this on the agenda tonight. So again, this will be at the February Planning Commission meeting. It will be moved, but have any comments or questions come in regarding this parcel, or this case rather?
Yes, Atlanta real estate lady, the residents in this area are not in favor of the addition industrial-like development in this area.
And I will say I am aware of that, and we have had discussions with the petitioner and with the council member, and I believe that more community meetings on this case will be forthcoming.
Okay, and DJ Incog, what city are the other parcels in?
Someone else on the call might have to help me with my geography really quickly there.
I believe they're in Union City.
I think that is correct. I know the geography of South Fulton, it borders a lot of different municipalities in a lot of different places in a lot of different ways, but I believe that Union City is the correct answer in this case. Any other comments or questions?
There needs to be better broadcast of these meetings, Atlanta real estate lady.
Noted. And if there's no other comments, I will move on to our next case.
No other ones.
Okay. Z20007, a rezoning at 0 Butner Road. We can go to the next slide, please. Petitioner here seeks to rezone from R3A to CUP with the intent to develop a residential subdivision. On the parcel is in the Cliftondale overlay. Houses will comply with all stagger and material requirements. And I will say once again, and I know that everyone knows at this point, we did recently update our zoning. And so all of the requirements that are in the new zoning will be met by this development here. Go to the next slide, please. All right. Essentially, this parcel is the uncleared and undisturbed area in the middle of the aerial map on the right. And you can see on the left. And on the right is our city zoning map. You can see this little oddly shaped parcel outlined in blue. You will notice our GIS map has the zoning slightly offset. The zoning layer and the parcel layer is just slightly offset, but this parcel is zoned R3A. That's the dark orange. We can go to the next slide, please. Here's a site plan of the proposed development. I believe we are at 59 homes here. You will see the entrance does incorporate a decel lane. And we did make some adjustments for the topography and wetland area of the site. Meetings have been held with the community here, and there were concerns about density, and those houses were removed. So they are less houses now on this site. As I said before, all staggers are in place, and there is amenity area and trails here on this development. I believe this is the last slide on this case. We could just check for me real quick. I'm sorry, here's some sample sent in of just model homes that were sent in by the developer for types that could be built on this site. And at this point, I know the petitioner is on the call, and I will give them the floor to make any comments that they have, that they want to rather.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. No, I just wanted to say that, yes, we have dropped the density to 59 units for single family detached homes. That's now 2.11 units per acre. We also wanted to express our dedication to matching the surrounding neighborhood aesthetics, maintaining vegetation, and also offering homes that will be more expensive than some of the homes in the area on a transaction basis. And so we are looking to develop and really just bring a cohesive development to the neighborhood.
Thank you. Have any questions or comments come in from the public on this case?
Let's see. What are you basing your decision on to build homes no larger than 2,900 square feet? What studies information have you used to determine lot size, home size, and price? Homes built from 2005 to 2008.
I'll respond to that. This is Michelle Battle with Battle Law. The Pulte is an experienced builder. They have many reports and other information that they utilize to make a determination as to what the house sizes and price points will be in communities that they are proposing to develop. We know that this particular product will be very similar in some ways to some of the product that is in the surrounding community, but with particular import to this particular project, the homes were actually selected by the Legend Oaks community. This is technically phase 2 of the Legend Oaks community. And so we have been in constant communication with them, and they actually helped to select the proposed home styles, inclusive of the square footages that are being proposed.
Howard Reed asks, what changes, if any, have been made to what was originally submitted?
Right. So as we mentioned, the density has decreased due to the wetlands concerns and setbacks. So there are less houses on the proposal as before. We've also made sure to incorporate all of the current architectural requirements of the city in this development. Michelle, I don't know if you can speak to anything else.
No, primarily that we did drop the total number of units. We also, as indicated, added in the left turn lane to show that coming into the community. The decel lane is wholly on the property owned by Pulte. Once again, the density dropped and we kind of relocated some of the amenity area, but otherwise the project has remained fairly static.
Okay, Chinedu Uzochi, where exactly is this on Butner Road?
We can go back to the overhead aerial map. I think it's 2 slides back.
It's Butner, close to Stonewall Tell.
Yeah, there's your aerial there. Any other questions or comments?
Yes. Mr. Howard Reed, what is the total acreage and the number of homes proposed?
Could someone on the call please mute their phone if this case isn't relevant to them? I would appreciate that. Would you reread that, Dana, for us, please?
Sure. Howard Reed asked, what is the total acreage and the number of homes proposed?
So it is 59 homes, and I'm going to look at the acreage right now. Acreage is 27.98.
Okay, Atlanta real estate lady, do you know the neighboring communities and what the original sales prices were for the existing homes built from 2005 to 2008? And what are the new price ranges?
I would not know original sale prices. Could the petitioners comment on the proposed prices of these new homes?
Sure. I have, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have the proposed prices here. We have prices such as 415,000 sales price for homes, 375,000 sales price per home, 368,000, and 525,000.
All right.
Atlanta real estate lady, Pulte also.
Hold it. To be clear,
Sorry.
I think that are those the new sale prices or the prices for homes that sold previously?
It's not specified in the comment.
Okay. I think the price range for the homes are going to be in the mid 300s and up.
Yes, that is correct.
And those other numbers were actually for homes that have sold in the area.
So those were comps, and the
Right.
ones in this development are started mid threes, subject to
Right.
whatever upgrades, which will obviously
Right.
raise the price.
Right. And we also agreed to a 3-sided brick product.
All right. That's
Which
good
will
to know, and that definitely is a
And that
more
will also-
expensive, higher quality product.
Exactly.
Okay, Pulte, Atlanta real estate lady, Pulte also owns the John Wheelan brand. Why does not Pulte use the brand in this area to be commensurate with higher priced homes?
I don't have an answer for that question.
Okay, Atlanta real estate lady asks, why would one community have influence that would be detrimental to property values in other areas? And then she goes on to ask, specifically, we want to see Pulte studies. These homes are not helping the values of homes that are in the gates of Stone Lake, Walden Park, Les Jardins, Union Crossing. And then she states that these prices that were given just now are too low. We have Tanya Isles. We have experienced 2 power surges outages off of Union Road in the past 7 days. Waste Industries is already having difficulty providing consistent on-time recycling and trash pickup services. Atlanta real estate lady, what is happening is an unfair cap of pricing in this area. What is in demand is a 4-sided brick product.
Well, I think as mentioned, if someone wanted to upgrade to a better finish or a different product, they certainly would have the opportunity to do so. I'm not sure that there's a cap being put on prices, but prices are being built, or homes are being built tailored to what the market will bear. Certainly, the developers want to sell at as high a price as possible. Any other questions or comments?
No, that's it.
Okay, we can move on to the next slide, the next case rather. Is related to this case, concurrent variance 02 for the previous case. We can go right to the next slide. This is asking to construct a retaining wall in a buffer area, and the request is due to the topography of a site. The buffer area would only be disturbed for the placement of this wall and then left as green space and undisturbed. Obviously, a retaining wall is completely passive use, so there wouldn't be any activity with regard to that. I will make a note for everyone at this point. The site plans are under review by our engineer, and there has been discussion going on, but no resolution. He is unsure that this is necessary, so it may be the case that this would disappear from the Planning Commission agenda if it is not needed. We were just waiting for final review and discussion between the builders engineers and our city engineers to the absolute necessity of this. We can go to the next slide, please. And these retaining walls, I'm sorry, you can go back just one if you would, please. On this site plan, these retaining walls are specified by the dark black lines in the buffer area in the middle of the screen. So there's one short black line on the right and one longer black line on the left, and that's where the walls would be. But as I said, these are under engineering reviews. Does the petitioner want to add any other comments to this particular case?
No, we're fine. Thank you.
Gotcha. Any comments or questions come in from the public on this one?
Yes, Atlanta real estate lady states we need to hear a specific plan on how you will do a better job of informing the public.
Sure, and if I can actually address that with you offline. Go to our next slide, please. Next case here, Z20-008, rezoning for 7195 Butner, 0 West Stubbs, and 3315 West Stubbs. Go to our next slide, please. Case 8 is a proposed rezoning from AG1 to CUP for a residential subdivision. There are 3 pieces of property covered by this rezoning. The 3 properties will be divided into 2 rezoning cases, and they'll be presented as 2 pictures you'll see. And the following case, again, it's 3 parcels into 2 parcels. We can go to the next slide, please. On the aerial map on the right, you will see the red dot is one of the parcels, and there was some partial construction. So you can see that the construction was partially done, which is the brown dirt area. If you look at the map on the right is the zoning map. The blue parcel outlined in blue, is one of them. The two square-ish parcels to the right of that are the other two parcels that are included in this case. So there's three parcels. As I said, the long one outlined in blue, and the two square-looking mostly parcels to the right of that blue parcel. So on the aerial map, you'll see it's the long brown areas and then the green areas that are wooded completely to the right, bordered by the two streets. You can go to the next slide, please. And I believe the aerial of this, yeah, so this is rotated. So Butner Road is going to be the diagonal road on the right. So if this was vertically oriented, it would be the same as the maps that were previously shown. So you can see here a single family, or subdivision rather, for single family homes. The amenity areas have been moved off of the street, moved back, and will all be single family homes, no multifamily in this development at all. And I believe the petitioner can take it from here.
So this is our single family detached housing. Like Nathan said, this is a separate application. You just want to say that it's going to be at 73 units and it's going to have its own entry points, and which the 2 points are shown here on the site plan as well. It's going to have a community clubhouse, a pool area, which we've also moved to be more central within. It's going to have all the staggering tennis courts, a walking trail, with all of the setbacks and vegetation preserved.
I will also make note that the one entrance is on the right on the road. The other entrance is in the middle upper of the screen. And that will be going into the next development that is in the next case. We can go to the next slide, and I believe there are some example home pictures sent in by the developer of this as options for this project. Any questions or comments? Now, I will also add, we received a lot of feedback on this case. I do have a lot of comments that have come in the past about this one. Those will be read into the record of the Planning Commission meeting next week on the 19th. So if you have previously commented on this, your comments have been noted. I do have them. And they will be given to the Planning Commission members for discussion at their meeting. I also know that the petitioners in this case have been very involved with the community and with both of the council members. This case is in District 2 and it is bordering District 4. So there has been extensive meetings and discussions going on with both the community and the council members. And again, anyone who's watching now and has previously made comments and sent comments in, I do have them and they will be sent to the Planning Commission members. So just because we're not going to hear them all tonight, because they are pages and pages, that I do have them and they have not been disregarded. I just want to make that very clear. Have any other comments or questions come in on this case here?
Yes. Mr. Howard Reed would like to know when this will go before the Planning Commission.
So that is next Tuesday, the 19th.
Okay, Trina Wright, I would like to know who I need to contact to oppose all the rezonings discussed.
You can email any comments you want into the planning email address, which is planning@cityofsouthfultonga.gov. You can email myself or Dana or Marissa to get your comments in. And if you need those, just the planning, our email addresses are really complicated to say out verbally. So if you just email planning@cityofsouthfultonga.gov with any questions, we all three of us check that email inbox, and we will get back to you with any questions you have or take note of any comments that you email in there. But again, you can email the planning, you can email the three of us, or feel free to, you can call us as well.
And at the planning email address, you can also request new construction news. And when the CZIM is coming up, we send out information in terms of what petitions will be presented at the CZIM, the date and the time. So again, you can go to the planning at cityofsouthfultonga.gov and you can request to be on the construction list and you will receive information that way as well. Atlanta Real Estate Lady, please name the study that shows demand for smaller lot sizes in the city of South Fulton. Um, how old is Atlanta real estate lady? How old is the GDOT classification of Butner Road and West Stubbs Road? Do you think that that classification is in step with the current level of residential development in this area?
I don't have any particular knowledge of GDOT's methodology for determining what is appropriate, what is a proper traffic level for the area, what is a proper service level. But I will say all of the developments that come into the city of South Fulton are reviewed by our traffic engineers and do have to present traffic studies on their own, of which these petitioners did in fact do. So we do get a lot of comments about traffic concerns, and I assure everyone who's listening and watching, they are taken very seriously and not in any way disregarded.
Atlanta real estate lady, the development of smaller homes and smaller lots built with lower construction standards will greatly impact the value of existing homes in neighboring communities. Howard Reed asks, what is the acreage for the 73 homes?
If the petitioners want to comment on the lot size and home construction, I'm going to pull up and check the acreage of this particular development.
Sure. So it's 173 units. Lot sizes are between 5,500 square feet and 7,500 square feet. The house sizes are about 2,400 to 3,000 square feet, priced around 300 to 330,000, which is about 125 to 110 dollars per square foot.
And this is 83.3 acres for this development.
Atlanta real estate lady, what are the retail prices per unit? You just gave that. What are the construction costs per unit, and where does it rank with other developments completed by this petitioner?
So
We don't have that information.
Atlanta real estate lady, again, if the retail prices are not above 500,000, this is not the highest and best use of this property. Residents are against this project. Trina Wright states, can you put the emails in this chat? Do we have the image at the end of the presentation as well, Nathan?
For the email addresses?
Yeah.
We don't, but if you want to go ahead and type, if whoever is watching the chat
Yeah, I'll do that.
can just type in our email addresses in the chat box, and it could be logged there for everybody to reply back to or to
All
have.
right. Okay.
Any other comments on this case here?
One more. Atlanta real
Okay.
estate lady, 4 in Avondale Park, you built 11 single family homes on 9.5 acres. In that same development, you are building 60 flats and 35 townhomes. And that's the end of the comments.
Okay, we can go to the next slide. Next case, the other half of this is Z20009, a rezoning at the same address, 7195 Butner, 0 West Stubbs, and 3315 West Stubbs. Go to the next slide, please. Case 9, proposed rezoning from AG1 to SH for a senior living development. Now, this proposal here has really evolved significantly and positively over the course of this process here. It is now a mixed cottage style development, all single family homes of various types, as we'll see in the site plan. Again, this parcel is taking this case is taking 3 parcels and putting them into 2. This will be at the front of the single family home development. We can go to the next slide and you can see what I'm talking about. So again, on the right is Butner Road. In the left hand, that is the second entrance to the single family development right there. And the first entrance would be in the lower right. It's not on this screen. Previously, this development here had been a mix of condos, townhouses, single family homes, and now it's evolved into a cottage style development, which is an extremely popular product in senior housing right now. All of these will be single family, some attached, some detached. So a wide mix of housing types here. And if we go to the next slide, I think the renderings of proposed housing types will sort of clarify. So at the bottom, we have detached units, cottage style. At the top two pictures, that's an attached single family. So there's 2 units there in one building. Any comments from the petitioner and on this one? And I will say also, again, there's been extensive meetings with the community and with the council members to get this added refinement in this proposal.
So we do want to clarify, there's 104 units of mixed housing, and we are offering the 50 single family detached homes, and then also 24 quads, which are attached. There's also 30 townhome units, which are single family attached units, as well as a community building with a pool.
Let's go back to the site plan real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think that might help in the visual here. There we go.
Right. So you can see here, the single family attached are also known as the townhome units. And so we have prices for those as well. It's starting at $250,000 for the townhome units, $150,000 for the 24 quads, and then $310,000 for the 50 single family home units. And those are starting prices. We believe that the variety of housing options is appropriate for the distribution of ages for 55 and over.
Any questions or comments from the public on this proposal? None have come in? Okay, if not, we can move to the next case.
Sorry, Nathan, I was muted.
Okay, sorry, go on, Dana.
Yo, mute trick. Howard Reed says, when will info on these updated proposals be submitted to the Planning Commission?
Again, these will be at the Planning Commission on January 19th.
Tanya Isles, with all of these projects, developers say the traffic studies are done, but after the developers are completed, residents are left to deal with the bottlenecks. Part 2, the new BP at the corner of Fulton Industrial and 166 is not even open yet, and new subdivision on Stonewall Tell is incomplete. There is a bottleneck at Fulton Industrial and 166. Letha R. Cherry, are you able to get your Avondale estate noticing addressing at this meeting? I'm curious too. I think she's asking a question to Atlanta real estate lady. Atlanta real estate lady, this area of South Fulton is saturated with new homes priced at 300 and below. Homeowners with home values over 500 built in 2000 to 2008 are seeing their homes being unfairly devalued. Atlanta real estate lady, the homes for seniors in this development are too small. Chinedu Uzuchi, what is the price range? I think we kind of mentioned the price range.
Let me pause you right there. We did mention the prices. Could the petitioners comment on the sizes of the senior units, please?
Sure, one moment.
While Summer is pulling up that information, the intent here is to provide for a range of sizes, everything from a small unit in the quads, which are typically geared more towards single individuals and that need less space. That is, if you look at many of the product that you find for senior housing, they range anywhere from about 750 square feet and up, depending upon what community you go to. So what we have tried to do is provide that range of unit sizes to allow for those who need less space to have the roughly 800 square foot and above units for the quads, the townhomes, and would then be the next size up, and then the cottage homes as well. If Summer can provide you with the exact square footages, that'd be fine.
So I'm having a little trouble finding the exact square footages, but I believe there to be around 2,000 square feet for the single family detached homes, 900 square feet for the quads, and then 2,000 square feet for the townhome units.
Nice. Any other questions or comments have come in?
Yes, we do. They say I was skipping some questions, but my last question from the last one you spoke about was the number of units per total acres from Mr. Howard Reed. We got the price range. We have the acreage. Althea Curry, please ask about acreage. I guess that was just given. Senior Atlanta real estate lady, senior housing comparable to Crestwinds in Fayette County would be more suitable for senior retirees in this area. Althea R. Curry, please scroll up to see the comment about Avondale Park. Well, last real estate lady, said in Avondale Park, they built 11 single family homes on 9.5 acres. In the same development, you are building 60 flats and 35 townhomes. Althea R. Cherry, what is the advantage of having this crowded community in this city?
I want to answer that. In a general sense, I don't know that I would ever use the word crowded, but I would say that it is very much in the community's interest, the city's interest, long-range planning goals, developers' interest to provide the type of housing that is requested and is needed in the marketplace. This is a housing type, especially senior housing, single families, that we don't have much stock of in the community. So this would be a new housing type and one that is in incredible demand in other communities. So I think there's a high chance of success with this senior housing unit. We do get a lot of comments in on all our residential developments about the size of lots. But the fact is that the smaller lot size are what the market dictates at this time. It's not, we can't expect developers to bring products that are not shown to be in demand. And the smaller lots are what people are buying at this point in time. I know we hear a lot about homes that were built 2005, but that was almost 20 years ago at this point. So it's not, real estate trends have definitely changed in that time frame. And these still have large homes. The homes in all the developments we hear about are over 2,500 square feet. So that's a large house. And so I think we should be careful before we unfairly criticize or question the motives of projects that are coming into the city when we know we have a need for various housing types at various price points, and the market certainly dictates the type of product and the price point that is built, and that also includes the lot size. So just kind of keep that in mind. Things are not just built and constructed indiscriminately. There's a lot of thought and a lot of research that goes into what is built where, what's it priced at, what it looks like, how much property there is, who it's marketed towards. And there is certainly no ill intent with any of these developments that come into the city of South Fulton. And I say that not to voice support for any one particular idea or any one developer, but we do hear a lot of similar comments coming in. And I want to assure everyone who's listening and watching that we take the needs of the community and the best interest of the community very seriously. And it's not a situation where we just give everyone a green light to do whatever they want to do. We absolutely keep in mind the long range goals of the city and the long range needs of the city. So I hope that everyone knows that, understands that, and and takes my word for it. And if I do appreciate the comments and the questions, but know that we do work hard and put a lot of thought and effort into ensuring that development comes to the city is not only needed, but high quality and beneficial too in many different ways. And I can get off my soapbox there. And if there's any other comments or questions, we could take those.
Yeah, there are. Howard Reed asks, are the townhome units multi-story?
The townhome units will be 2-story.
Trina Wright, for the record, the petitioner seems ill-prepared to address the questions and comments presented today. Atlanta Real Estate Lady, the senior units based on market demand need to be 1,500 to 2,700 square foot minimum size. What is the target income level for buyers of these units?
So our units cater to a variety of different income levels, but the prices are for those who are seniors and are making enough to afford homes that are priced at $300,000 all the way to $150,000 per unit.
Chinito Uzuchi, it is crowded and will be overcrowded with these new developments. COSF will need to revamp the infrastructure for travel capacity. We will need more law enforcement, fire departments, and hospitals. L. Smith, do you have
Well,
data?
Dana, let me say to that last point about the city, increasing infrastructure and resources over time. I would agree with that. As we grow, and we're going to grow. So as we grow, the city will absolutely take the infrastructure and resource needs of the community into consideration and will make adjustments to provide quality services and infrastructure of all types to the residents. So we do recognize that, and we do work towards improving that every day.
L. Smith, do you have data who is actually requesting small homes?
We don't. Wait,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm sorry, Summer. Let me try that one. There is broad understanding and knowledge that senior communities are being developed in a variety of different styles. There are quads, there are townhomes, there are cottages, there are regular single family detached communities. There's simply a wide variety. And this variety has not found itself in predominantly African American communities. And what we are trying to achieve here is something that, quite honestly, has not been brought into the community in any level of development in comparison to many of the surrounding communities. And so what we have tried to do here is to provide a variety of house sizes. We believe that will make the product even more attractive. We have tried to minimize the total number of units that are of the smaller size. There is no question that many over the age of 55, active adults over 55, are downsizing from their existing homes that may be 2,500 square feet or larger, from their larger families where they had multiple bedrooms, maybe 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, down to units that are 1 and 2 bedroom units. And so the desire here is to provide a step down in size, but not a step down in quality.
Let me also add that, I don't personally, and I try not to talk personally, but we can't, it doesn't help us necessarily to look at density as a bad thing, especially in communities like this where, people, especially the older residents, are going to want to be near other people. They're going to want to be in walking distance. They're going to want to have that sense of community. And that goes for a lot of other projects too. So, projects that are laid out with a certain streetscape and have a certain type of housing are done so with the intent of providing a certain environment for the residents that choose to live there. And it's not just done to get as many people in the smallest amount of space as possible. There's a lot more thought and intent that goes into planning communities such as this.
All right, Chinito.
I wanted to make one last point. I'm sorry. Also, what you are finding is that in most African American communities, what we're finding is a plethora of apartments for seniors. They are affordable senior housing that is being developed, and so in many instances, seniors are being asked to downsize from what may have been a 2,000 or 3,000 square foot home into a 600 square foot apartment unit. What we are trying to do is to provide an alternative as well to that apartment dweller. We believe that many active adults over 55 want a larger space in terms of something larger than the 600 square feet, but certainly smaller than the homes that they may be living in now. They want less in terms of home maintenance, in terms of lot sizes, not wanting necessarily to be out cutting grass, but maybe having an area where they can have gardening and light outdoor activity. And so again, we believe that the sizes of the units that we are proposing gives a range. It gives a range not only for the unit size that they would like, but also activity level. Some seniors are more than fine with having a home that still has stairs in it. Some don't. So we are providing those options with the units. We initially started this with a multifamily style building that was going to have condos. The community said they didn't want that, so we got rid of it. We had more quads, and we were told that the community wanted fewer of those. And so we have more cottage homes that are shown on this plan that are very consistent with what you're finding in other adult active communities. So once again, we believe that this product type is suitable and provides a variety of options for active adults over 55.
Okay, Chinito Uzuki, did you think of schools being overcrowded?
That wouldn't be of issue with the senior community.
It wouldn't be, and we send all of these projects and plans off to Fulton County Schools to review, and I believe, I want to just double check before I get ahead of myself. I believe we got, it was either for this one or the previous one, a analysis back. It was for the other case. But all the developments do go to Fulton County Schools for review. So yes, we do take that into consideration. Yes, we do get input on that. And so we do not build with the intent of overcrowding a school. And we do take that into consideration.
L. Smith, are the small homes only being marketed to certain demographics?
All the homes within the senior community will be for those 55 and older. In order to live within this community, you have to be 55 or older. You cannot be under that age range. And we are asking for a variance to reduce the age range from 62 to 55. But we still have to comply with all the other provisions within the SH district regulations, which are very specific about the age range of people who can live there.
Atlanta real estate lady, who decides what is in the city's interest? This housing type should be placed elsewhere. Why are the priorities of the developers before the needs of the residents? I have Trina Wright. The interest of the community is not protected, and that's apparent by the trash that is littered throughout the community. Atlanta real estate lady.
Let me, hold on, I want to pause and comment. I want to pause and comment on that. If you see trash issues throughout the community, please contact Code Enforcement or Public Works and let us know where that is so we can take a look at that. Please don't assume that that is something that we want to be tolerated.
Atlanta real estate lady, we appreciate the efforts of the board. However, these decisions are not based on what the people want and need. Shanidu, it is not beneficial for existing homes purchased in 2003 for 300,000 or more. Shinidu Uzuchi, what area, if any, do you foresee building police precincts, fire stations, and hospitals?
That would just be determined at a future date based on where service need was.
Atlanta real estate lady, developers are not necessarily the best final say on what should be built in our community.
I would agree with that.
The types of construction are not in question. It is the location of this project that is not acceptable. Where else in Metro Atlanta has this project been constructed?
These types of products are being developed throughout the Metro Atlanta area, but predominantly on the north side of town. So depending upon where you are, there are a zillion examples of these communities going up, particularly in northern communities, Cobb County, Marietta, Gwinnett County, North DeKalb, some areas in mid DeKalb, but rarely, quite honestly, are these types of communities and developers willing to take a risk or chance of developing within African American communities that have individuals who are seeking either that already live in the area, that are seeking to downsize, but want a quality active adult community to live in so that they can stay within their community. There are also a market for this product would be for those who are, as we're seeing the resurgence, as they say, the reverse Great Migration, where large groups of African Americans are coming back into this community, moving back here, retiring in these areas, and they are coming with monies because buying these types of homes in those areas may be cost prohibitive. And so this makes a great opportunity to continue to welcome people into South Fulton. You're near the airport, you're in a great location. It's a great community and people want to move here. And that's what you're finding with a lot of the new developments, not only for active adults, but just in general, that you're seeing that relocation of people back into the area.
Shinidu Zuchi, do any of the panel live in the city of South Fulton or nearby? Please hear our voices and do not speak for us. Atlanta real estate lady, if I
I
pay,
want to answer that. Obviously the entire planning commission lives in the city of South Fulton.
okay, Atlanta real estate lady, if I pay 600,000 for my home near this development, this project is detrimental to my property value. Again, the project needs to be built elsewhere in the city of South Fulton. Tanya Isles, this development would be better suited to be located closer to the new Publix or future retail area. Atlanta real estate lady, is the developer foreseeing that this area will remain majority African American?
No, I wouldn't say that it would be, but clearly it is a majority community at the moment. And as residents in this area, people who want to stay within their communities, I think that there's an opportunity to have quality senior or active adult housing other than apartment buildings. Why should this community only have senior apartments and not have senior communities of this nature and caliber?
Sinedu, the building of warehouses in Union City and City of South Fulton are not helping home values either. Howard Reed, density appears excessive. What is the density for the senior project?
It's
The senior-
4.4 units.
Chinedu, homeowners have more equity in their homes on the north side. Atlanta real estate lady, yes, there are many senior communities being developed in the North Metro communities, but not at the detriment of the highest priced homes in those communities. And that's it with the comments for this one.
All right, we can move on. Move on to the next case then. This here is for the concurrent variance for the previous case, 7195 Butner, 0 West Stubbs, and 3315 West Stubbs. You can go right to the next slide, please. The request here is for a variance in the age range from 62 to be lowered to 55. This is the trend in this type of housing. What the intent here is to provide a community and housing product to a wider audience, to have a more dynamic community. It gives the opportunity for younger visitors in terms of children and grandchildren. It also provides a housing type for senior citizens who may still be in the workforce or have several years of working still ahead of them. So it's just a nationwide trend in this type of development to change the age range to 55 on these projects. And again, having a larger audience for the development will help to ensure the commercial success of this particular project. I don't believe there is a next slide for this one. We can just hold it here. Any last questions or comments that have come in on those cases?
Yeah, one more, Atlanta real estate lady. All people who would desire this area have diversity in income. Senior housing is needed, but at a higher quality construction and in another area.
Let me interject right there really quickly. I would say that making a point of diversity of income is important, which is why it is important that we offer houses not just at $500,000 and up, and not just on large lots. Diversity of income necessitates diversity of housing types.
Atlanta real estate lady, do you think that 23 citizens shows successful input by the community?
I don't have any comments to that one.
And that's it.
All right. Next case here is U20-003, a use permit at 5829 Campbellton Road. This is for a use permit in the new shopping center. This is an existing business moving to a new location. Therefore, we'll need a new license and new permit. The use here is a nail salon. Due to the passage of our new zoning ordinance, many new uses and business types were added to those requiring a use permit. So we will be seeing a lot more of these cases in the future going forward. We can go to the next slide, please. You can see here a aerial map that was pre-construction of a lot of the buildings there. And the parcel here is one of the parcels in the pink area on the right of the new Publix shopping center. You can go to the next slide. This is just an interior diagram of the forthcoming nail salon. And I believe the petitioners are on the call to make any comments and answer any questions that anybody has.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Quatran. I am a son of the owner. So I am here to answer any question that you guys will have.
I don't have any particular questions. Did any comments come in or questions from any of the people viewing this presentation tonight?
No, not regarding the nail salon.
And as I said, this is a existing business moving into a new location.
This is John Perlman talking. I'm the developer. Just want to point out it is 50% larger than their existing location. They've been in the community for 10 or 12 years, and they wanted to expand to better serve the community.
We do certainly appreciate people investing their money in South Fulton, and we certainly want to encourage their continued success. So I do appreciate that very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, if no questions or comments come in, we can move on.
None.
All right, go to the next slide.
Oh, wait. Where is
Sure.
the existing business? Trina Wright asked where the existing business is.
Sure. What is your current address, sir?
So does the Atlanta real estate lady.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Our existing address is 5819 Campbellton Road, in the same neighborhood with the CVS, and the name of the nail shop is Emily Nails.
Okay, and Althea Cherry asked, this is the business by CVS. Yes, it is.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And that is it. Oh. Where does the owner live?
I'm not
I'm
sure
sorry.
that I'm not sure that the owner's city of residence is necessarily appropriate.
Trina Wright, what are you doing in the current location to uplift the surrounding area?
Well, I would say that I would interject that a business that has invested in the city of South Fulton for over a decade is a good a good citizen and a good neighbor.
That's it.
All right, we can move on to the next case. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
I believe this is our last one of the night of variance. 6470 Beaver Creek Trail. Next slide, please. This is a variance on a residential home on the minimum front yard requirement. They're asking for a variance from 20 feet down to 15, so a 5-foot change. There's a sewer easement on the rear of the property, which inhibits the placement of the home, which is why they're asking for the variance on this hardship. Go to the next slide, please. You can see here it is a home in an existing subdivision. I believe the aerial above is old and a lot of the homes are built at this point. You can see it is zoned R. Boy, my eyes are not as good as they used to be. It's the dark green area in the middle of your screen, and the highlighted blue is the
It's zoned R5A.
R5A. Thank you. Your eyes are much better than mine. And the light blue is the highlighted parcel in question. We can go to the next slide, please. This is just an overall aerial view. You can see the house in the middle of the lot there, and the setback area for the sewer in the back of the lot. Also, just asking for a 5-foot difference. Is anyone, the petitioners, on the call with us tonight?
Yes, sir. This is Gene Strickland with Liberty Communities.
Sure. Just tell us a little bit what's going on and explain it to us.
Yeah, so there's as you mentioned, there's a drainage easement as well as a sanitary sewer easement towards the rear of this home. And in order, it's a basement lot, and in order for us to build the requisite deck that is associated with the house, we just needed to bring it forward the 5 feet. That is primarily 1 foot of house line, building line, and then 4 feet. And I'm not sure if you can see on this slide, but 4 feet of basically a stoop in the front, just to be able to accommodate the structure as well as the sewer easement and pull that deck out of the easement, the 20-foot easement.
Okay. I don't have any comments associated with this one, this petition. And I did have one last comment based on the nails by Atlanta real estate lady, was asking if the owner lives in the city of South Fulton. So I think we might have lost Nathan.
I'm sorry, I had the same thing that you did earlier. It was the battle of the mute button.
Tag team.
It always gets us eventually.
So I didn't have a comment for V20007, but I did
got
have
you.
a comment from, you did hear it. Okay.
I heard, yeah.
All right.
So
great.
this is our last slide of the evening. I want to thank our petitioners for coming on and joining us tonight. I want to thank everyone on the entire internet for watching and hearing my voice yet again, and allowing me to be a member of your home for at least an hour tonight. If you have any additional questions or comments, please feel free to email us at our regular staff email addresses, which we'll put in the YouTube chat, or email us at the planning email address, which is planning, PLANNING, at cityofsouthfultonga.gov. We will get back to any questions or comments you have. These cases will be at the Planning Commission on Tuesday, January 19th, which is a little over a week from today, 1 week and a day after the holiday. This variance case will be at the Board of Appeals meeting on Thursday, January 21st, next Thursday. Again, any other questions, feel free to email us, and I want to wish everybody a great night and a happy new year, and I look forward to talking with all of you again soon. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
And the D at the bottom of the chat, I put the planning address in all capitals, so you have that.
Perfect. There it is on your screen out right now, I believe, was there, Planning at City South Fulton. Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
Bye.